Welcome to part 6. In this course, we are discussing data protection related requirements, compliance requirements. This was part 1 we discussed, then we discussed part 2, and then we discussed part 3, part 4, 5, and now we are going to discuss the principles of data protection compliance, and this is your part 6. If you have not watched the previous 5 parts of this course, I would request you to please go and watch those parts because important concepts are discussed in those videos, like the data processing, data subjects, data processors, and data controllers. And now we are going to start the series of the key principles that are involved in the data protection compliance domain. So the principle number 1 is data processing should consider lawfulness, fairness, and transparency. Whenever any particular or critical personal data is to be processed, then that data processing should be for the lawful purpose, for the fairness of both the parties, like for the individual who provided the information, that is data subject, and the organization that collected the information, that is the data controller. And there should be the transparency element involved, because whenever the organization asks for any particular information from any customer or any individual, then the organization should provide the information to that customer as to why the information is being collected and why the individual should share the personal information with the organization. And in that case, the lawfulness would be judged and the fairness and transparency would be reflected by on the part of the data controller and data processors. So this was principle 1. And what is principle 2? Principle 2 says that the data processing should be for specific, explicit, and legitimate purpose. You can not think of sharing any kind of information with any organization, because if you are going to open your bank account, like for example, then you would be asked for your personal identity card or identity information, or the passport number and similar information, and that belongs to you. You would not share any other information if you are not asked about that information. And so there should be the element of specific and explicit involved in the data sharing and collection process, and the data processing should be for the legitimate purpose, because the organization that is collecting the information is not allowed to use the data collected for whatever reason they may think of benefit to them, because there is the obligation on the part of the data controller and processors, which means the organizations that is collecting the information, to share the relevant information with the customer and to describe the purpose of obtaining the information. So there should be the compliance with the principles. So please subscribe this channel if you have not subscribed this, because I would be uploading more parts of this course. You will get the notification if you press the bell icon. Please like this video as well, and please share this video with your friends, colleagues, and professionals who are working in the compliance, risk management, internal controls, and AML CFT domain, regulatory compliance, etc. And this course is for educational purposes, and this is not designed for any specific organization or institution. So the purpose is to discuss the broader data protection compliance requirements. So let's move on to discuss the next principles of this course. In this part, we discussed principle 1 and principle 2, and the principle 1 was related to the lawfulness of the data processing, fairness of the data processing, and transparency. Then the data processing should be specific, explicit, and for the legitimate purpose. Let's discuss what are the principles number 3 and 4.